Hello, this is a Sanni V5 cart reader, and it's used to dump ROMs from various game consoles. You can see that it's got built-in cartridge slots for Sega Master System, Sega Genesis, N64, Super Nintendo, Famicom, and NES. Those are separate. And then on back, it's got a slot, uh, this thing right here. I can't get a good picture. Anyway, that thing right there, which is used for Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advanced cartridges. Um, I want to. I have about 30 Neo Geo Pocket and Neo Geo Pocket Color carts, and I wanted to dump those. And this does not have a slot for those. However, it does support a lot of additional systems via add on boards. Now, the SANI and the add on boards are all open source. So this is not something you just buy in a store. It's something that people on the internet download the plans for from the GitHub repository and and just build it themselves from parts they can order and circuit boards you can have printed up based on the public domain plans or the open source plans. And then people are constantly improving it and updating it. So fortunately, people have made plans for an add-on board for Neo Geo Pocket and Neo Geo Pocket Color cartridges, but I couldn't find anyone selling one. And I was watching eBay for a long time, no sign of one. I didn't really know where else to look. I've since found that maybe a Discord would be a good place to look, but I don't know. Anyway, it finally occurred to me, why don't I ask the builder from whom I ordered this cart reader off of eBay? Why don't I ask them if they're interested in making me a Neo Geo Pocket adapter board for the thing? The seller's name is Full Circle Embedded. I will link you to their eBay profile because they did good work. They made me this adapter. So they also made, they made this whole thing for me that I bought from them some time ago. And just now they made me this adapter for Neo Geo Pocket and Neo Geo Pocket Color carts. It's got a little circuit board, and then it's got a cartridge slot. So the tricky part about this adapter, and the reason why people don't sell these, generally speaking, how did this get so dusty already, is that there's no manufacturer that makes a out of the box compatible cartridge slot for the Neo Geo Pocket and Neo Geo Pocket Color carts. There's just no part that'll fit. So to get this slot, you have to take it out of an actual Neo Geo Pocket or Neo Geo Pocket Color. So basically, a Neo Geo Pocket or Neo Geo Pocket Color has to die for an adapter to be made. So I found a beat up Neo Geo Pocket Color on eBay. It only cost $80 as opposed to the usual $100 for a Neo Geo Pocket Color. I it was I would have gotten a totally broken one if I could have found one, but I didn't find one. So I ordered that, and I had already contacted the seller, and they said yeah, they'd be up for it. And they're the ones who explained to me that yeah, you need the cartridge slot from an actual Neo Geo Pocket. So I was like shoot. So I put up a little auction for the Neo Geo Pocket and let the builder know right away, and they bought it, and I shipped it to them, and they took the slot out and put it onto this board they in fact had already had printed up from, again, open source plans. I love how it does say NGP adapter front there. Um, and and then I bought that in an auction from them. Bought the cart slot back with this board soldered on, and it seems to work perfectly. Now I've dumped one cartridge so far. I dumped Metal Slug First Mission because that's a game that I'm maybe least interested in. So I thought, well, if something melts down, I won't be too put out. It dumped fine, amazingly. I flashed the BIOS for the cart reader because the additional Neo Geo Pocket add-on module was not enabled in the firmware. Because the reason for that is that the board that these things are built on has a limited amount of ROM space, or whatever you would call it. So you can't have too many add-on boards enabled at once, as I found when I just tried to enable all of them, and then it wouldn't compile. Wouldn't compile the firmware I'd set up. It was a little scary to have to configure the code parameters for the add-on boards in the firmware header file. It's an actual like C or something header file, and then compile it. Fortunately, it actually worked straight away once I did not enable all of the add-on modules, because it warned me that was going to take up too much space. And the instructions for doing all of that are found on the Wiki on GitHub, which I will link to the GitHub repository for the Sanni. So I did that, and I had you see this thing is powered by a USB cable that mine came with, and I had that plugged into my laptop, so it was getting power. And once I did that, the Metal Slug First Mission cart dumped just perfectly, and I was really excited. So what I'm going to be trying now is the big kahuna of Neo Geo Pocket color games, which is SNK versus Capcom Match of the Millennium. This is the Japanese version. I think that was just cheaper to buy because I actually lost mine along with some of my other favorite Neo Geo Pocket carts on a plane flight once, because I had some of them in my luggage that I checked in, and it got broken into, and the Neo Geo Pocket carts were taken. That sucked. And when I went and rebought it, the Japanese one I think was cheaper. So yeah, we're gonna try to dump it. The Match of the Millennium is, I've read, a 32 megabit cart. That's as big a cart as the Neo Geo Pocket Color had. I think there's 3 of them, 3 32 megabit ones. The other ones I think is actually Metal Slug's second mission, and then one of the kind of non-game cart games, like I forget what it is. It's like some kind of fun-loving app for pop. Maybe it's Pop Full Mail or something. I don't even know what that is. Anyway, okay, so if this thing can dump, then it ought to be able to dump anything, and I believe it will. So this adapter board, this one happens to go in the Super Nintendo slot, and you can see it fits in the central slot. So there we go, our little Frankenstein look with the adapter plugged in. And then there's 2 switches on the side, which are very important. You've got your voltage setting and on off. The Neo Geo Pocket adapter board needs to have the voltage set to 3 volt, which is what I have. There's 3 volt or 5 volt. It needs 3 volt, and the builder, Full Circle Embedded, told me that that's because the Neo Geo Pocket Color itself takes 2 AA batteries, which are 1.5 volts each, so that's 3 volts. That's pretty cool, huh? So we've got that set. I'm paying attention. It is there right on 3. Okay, 3 volts. And just pop the cart in here. So it's kind of funny looking. Okay, and then turn the power switch to the on position. And this is working because it's drawing power again from my laptop, which is plugged into the wall plug. So then the menu comes up, and you control it with this little rotary knob. The LED lights in this thing are a bit bright for my eyeballs, really, but anyway. So you scroll down, and this is showing just the modules that I enabled in the firmware I just edited and compiled. So I did also optimistically put on a PC Engine add on board in the hopes that I'll be able to find one of those. So the Neo Geo Pocket is listed here. Click that, you just push in on the knob to select, and it comes right up. Wow. So it knows the name of the cartridge and various details about and there it says ROM size 32 M bits, megabits, press button, okay. Read ROM, push it again, and it takes a second here. Okay, now it's reading the thing. Exciting. I love this little readout. The whole thing is like this cyberpunk hacker thing, you know. It's so funny. Just gonna jack this in, you know. And this is dumping to an SD card, which you can see sticking out here on the side. Okay, so it dumped. Now that's interesting. Some of the modules, like just the regular modules without the add-on boards, they'll do like a CRC check immediately. But I guess this module is not set up for doing a CRC check. And a lot of the times I get it telling me, you know, the CRC failed, and that would be because like the pins on the cartridge are dirty or something. I have to clean them. Now these are all my own carts that I've had for years, and they're all pretty clean. So hopefully that I won't have any problems like that. But if this is not doing CRC checks, then what'll probably happen if I do have dirty pins is that the ROM just won't run correctly, and I'll have to try to clean the pins. And if you're going to clean the pins, you just use you know, some isopropyl. I just use some isopropyl alcohol and a cotton swab. Okay, so the dump appears to be done. I mean, it is done. So I'm going to turn this thing off. And pop out the SD card, which is done by just pushing in. It clicks out. I'm going to stick it in my laptop, which has its own SD card slot, conveniently enough. There we are. It pops in. Comes up in Windows. This is the same SD card that I use for ripping Dreamcast games off of my Dreamcast. So that's why you have the Dreamcast game folders. They aren't actually part of the SD card installation for the Sanni. But you see here the Sanni has made an NGP folder. There's the Metal Slug cart that I dumped first as a test. Here's SNK vs. Capcom 1. This is new. And you see you can make multiple attempts to dump, and it'll just put them in consecutively numbered folders. Here's the ROM. It is 4 megabytes. So let's copy this and then go over to my emulator directory. I'm using the emulator Mednafen, which is a multi-system emulator that does a very good job of emulating Neo Geo Pocket Color. Pop this in here, paste. I'm going to zip it, just standard zip. Alright, so I'll get rid of the uncompressed one. So copy this name. Mednafen is a command line interface, so I have a little shortcut set up here that I'm using for testing, and I'm going to paste in the name of the ROM. Okay, and I've got various parameters set up here, command line options to run it in with vsync off and OpenGL vsync off, it should be playing in the native aspect ratio and without bilinear filtering. Now, it's interesting because the only other ROM that I have right now that I just got off of Steam, actually, you can get all these Genesis Mega Drive games from Sega off of Steam for like 99 cents each or something, and they're set up in these really basic emulators. Was it .mu or whatever, the company who makes these things, where the ROM is just right there, and so you can just copy the ROM and run it in an emulator. So I got Shadow Dancer. But with Mega Drive, when I run it in OpenGL, it does bilinear filtering, even though I set the parameter for bilinear filtering off for Mega Drive. So I don't know why. So that's annoying. So I have to run that one in the software video renderer. But the Neo Geo Pocket ROMs so far seem to come out nice and crisp, and they do let you turn off the bilinear filtering, which is the NGP.video IP 0 parameter. The one for Mega Drive is just MD instead of NGP, but it didn't seem to work with the OpenGL driver, which is annoying. And it doesn't, well, and then when you switch to software renderer, that doesn't do bilinear filtering anyway. So I'm not too sure if this video IP 0 setting is working for the Mega Drive, but who cares? We're doing Neo Geo Pocket. So I got this set up. There's my ROM name. Let's run this baby. I should note that the controller I'm going to use here is a DualShock 4, and I'm using the DS4 Windows free program to make it work, because Mednafen doesn't have built-in DualShock 4 support. But once you run DS4 Windows, it treats it like a standard Xbox controller, basically. And then Mednafen is able to recognize it when you map the controls. So let's run the shortcut. Here we go. Oh, yes. Oh, baby. Now, I suppose the irony is that I don't know how much of these Neo Geo Pocket Color games I'm going to be able to play, actually, because they have a lot of really harsh screen flashing effects. And Match of the Millennium is certainly no exception. In fact, it may be one of the biggest offenders. So I have mapped the controller for Metal Slug, and it should still be working. Oh, it wants A button. I set that to here. Let's go start. Yeah, we'll do Kyo. I can't do this one-handed anyway. The music in this game is so good. It's pretty sweet seeing this on full screen. So I had wanted a video out for the Neo Geo Pocket for a long time. Like, I actually run this tiny little Neo Geo Pocket Color forum, and a long time ago I just posted on there, like, I don't remember what I offered to pay, maybe $100 if somebody would make a video out for the Neo Geo Pocket Color. And that was like probably 15 years ago, and of course nobody ever took me up on that offer, because I don't think anybody had worked out how to do one. There are, like, I think it's a Neo Geo Pocket Color, some kind of developer unit or something that does do video out, but there's like 2 of those or something. Of course, now SNK is putting these things out, or a couple of years ago did, on Switch, and actually I think you can buy some of them on, I think you can get this one on Steam as well. But unfortunately, SNK is now owned by, who's the guy? The guy running Saudi Arabia. And I don't want to give him money, so I'm not buying any of their stuff. And also, I have a bunch of games for the Neo Geo Pocket and Neo Geo Pocket Color that they didn't release, and I want to be able to play those as well on a big screen, so getting a cartridge reader was definitely the way to go. Mednafen probably runs these better than whatever emulator they're using in the official ports to Switch and Steam or whatever, but I don't know, I haven't run those. So I got beat with my single button. But anyway, that's the game. So yeah, freshly dumped from the cartridge. And you notice it's running in English, even though it's a Japanese cart. So yeah, pretty sweet. Now I have about 28 more cartridges to dump. But you notice they dump pretty fast because they're tiny even. I mean, this is the biggest one, and 32 megabits was 4 megabytes, you know. I should shut this off. Okay. So yeah, it worked beautifully. I was kind of amazed. And I'm super excited now. Again, that builder is full circle embedded on eBay. I will put a link to their eBay profile in case you want to look them up. They do beautiful work. This is a lovely adapter. Let me get this thing off. And again, the actual cartridge slot, this brown part, or black, whatever, that's black, right, has to come out of an actual Neo Geo Pocket or Neo Geo Pocket Color. This came out of a Neo Geo Pocket Color that I got off of eBay. That's the tricky part of getting these made, really, is just getting the cartridge slot. And then he had to, you know, desolder it and take it out. And then, you know, the add-on board itself, he just had printed up from the open source plans, just like he did. I mean, he made this whole Sanni V5 reader based on the plans from the GitHub. So I will link to his eBay profile, or actually, well, to their eBay profile, to and to the GitHub for the Sanni card reader. And yeah, if you're interested in this thing, you could check that out. And yeah, you would have to come up with a Neo Geo Pocket or Neo Geo Pocket Color cartridge slot to basically convert into the adapter, which probably means the Neo Geo Pocket or Neo Geo Pocket Color must be sacrificed. So yeah, but I don't know, to me, well worth it. Now I can dump my own carts and have fun. But I guess that's about all I got. Gotta go dump a bunch more carts. Thanks for watching, and these cart readers just in general are super slick, I must say. Let's see, haven't dumped Master System. I don't think I've dumped a Genesis cart yet. I've done N64, SNES, Famicom, NES, and the back slot I've done Game Boy. I just did a Game Boy Color, and I've done some GBA games. So lots of fun with these things if you just want to make your own ROM dumps instead of, you know, getting pirated ones off the internet. There's no particular reason to, I suppose. It's just fun. So there you go. Sweet adapter, cool games. I'm going to have some fun with this. I'm going to stop babbling now. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.